So I'd like to start the business part of our annual meeting with a presentation. And so I'd like to call up Sharon Jennings, please. As some of you may know, Sharon has decided to retire from our board of directors after many, many years with the Historical Society, well before my time. And we wanted to honor her at the annual meeting. And so we have a few things that we would like to present. The first is a certificate of outstanding service that recognizes Sharon Jennings for exemplary leadership on behalf of the Traverse Area Historical Society. Secondly, in my authority as president of the board, I'd like to announce that given her lifetime of service to the Historical Society, we have decided that we are going to offer and provide lifetime membership in the Historical Society for Sharon Jennings.
Pull that off before you leave your position.
Finally, I'd like to bring Peg Siciliano up here to make another presentation.
Nobody's going to be able to tell what this is a picture of, but there's a reason I chose it. So it is an aerial of Central Grade School. So it's an aerial of Central Grade School for a couple of reasons. One, in addition to having been on our board for over 30 years. Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure. You and Jim have been on both for a really long time, but long time. She also was a longtime TCAPS elementary school teacher. And a lot of her professional teaching career was at Central. I thought about getting a bigger picture, but then I thought, you know what? If she's anything like me, she's trying to downsize rather than this. So it's small. But also one of the many things she did for the Historical Society and for history in this area is she organized and gathered information on what I think they now call the school file in the archives. So it starts from the very first one-room schoolhouses, goes all the way back, did huge amount of research trying to figure out how many school buildings had set between 7th and 8th Street, which is like 5 different ones or something. It was very confusing, and she probably spent hundreds of hours looking at newspapers and figuring out when they were built and when they were taken down and what happened to them. And I just hardly can imagine being involved in the historicals, but she's going to stay involved, just not on board. So just take this for a thank you. A little bit you can thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, everybody. And the board. Yeah, I'll still be around coming to the meetings, and I'll bring the cookies because I can't remember when I first joined either. I was teaching. I'm from Ohio, so I'm not and I always heard if you joined the Historical Society, they made you put on presentations, and I'm like, well, I can't do that. I'm not from here. But finally, I decided to join, and however long ago. It was at you identified the building down on Front Street. We had, the collection was up at the top, down by, across from bookstore.
It was the art school. Who had the art?
The
Youngs. It was above the Youngs.
Up above the Youngs. And we went up there, and it was all these crates and boxes. And I think we were sitting on the collection.
Yes.
And Clint Leonard, a wonderful man who loved Traverse City history. He was the president, and yeah, it was a long time ago, and I loved history my whole life, and it's been a joy and an honor to be part of this organization, and I obviously will live the rest of my life. So thank you all very much.
Yeah. So I'd like to now turn to our annual report for the society. We've met the mission of the society over the providing 7 monthly programs since the last time we had our annual meeting. In November, Kim Kelderhouse, Executive Director of the Lee Lerner Historical Society, presented a program entitled Clues, Tidbits, and Surprises in Researching Lee Lerner History. In January, board member and historian Marty McLeod presented on Legacy, Perry Hanna and his neighbors. February brought Tattle librarian Zoe Swartz, who presented on Julius Steinberg, bargain giver from peddler to opera house proprietor and beyond. March brought us author Valerie Wyans, who then presented on the life of our 22nd governor of our state, Edwin Wyans. April, aviation historian Grace Yakuber presented on the history of Traverse City and area airports. May brought board member and writer Peg Siciliano, who presented on West Bay as Traverse City's economic engine. Last month, board member and project coordinator Emily Modrell presented on the completion of the first 9 and beautiful markers of the new Anishinaabe cultural markers of Geechee, Wick, Guidong, the Grand Traverse area. In addition to our programs, we have offered 3 different historical tours this summer. In addition to our Oakwood Cemetery tour led by Peg Siciliano, Marty McLeod has provided the walking tour of Traverse City's Old Town. And she and Peg have also offered the entitled Perry Hanna and his neighbors, a walking tour of 6th Street and environs. Thus far, and I don't have the numbers from this morning, we have had 91 community members attend one or more of our tours. Our newest function has been the collection and display of 3-dimensional historic artifacts. Our acquisitions include artifacts from the county sheriff from 100 years ago, and we have also displayed artifacts in the Traverse City Opera House. These include World War II vintage sheet music and popular musical instruments from board member Jim Warner's extensive collection. Finally, we have given support to the Michigan History Day program and its students. Several society board members and members of our society participated in the Michigan History Day at West Middle School in March. We had the pleasure of serving as judges, evaluating wonderful student projects, including exhibits, documentaries, posters, websites, and papers. The quality of the projects was shown in several of the projects advanced from district to national finals. And of course, George's presentation is an illustration of the wonderful work our young scholars provide. I want to close with many thanks to all of you for helping to us provide our mission of preserving, presenting, and protecting the history of our Grand Traverse region. And so I'd like to just show, as we often do, our budget. So this budget should be familiar with to you because it's very similar to the 2024 budget. Very little has changed, and I would say that it reflects one of the things that we committed to last year and we continue to do this year is having an additional storage unit for 3-dimensional items, given that currently the City of Traverse City is not collecting and adding to the Count Foster collection at this point. And so we have taken on the responsibility of taking on what we consider to be historically significant 3-dimensional artifacts, and that is what we're storing. And so as you see through this budget, it does mean that we are spending more than we are taking in. And the board decided, and this is in keeping with what we did last year, pretty similar. We still have an ample reserve, and we continue to use some of that reserve to meet the bottom line. But I think what we have done, and as you've heard, we continue to meet our mission and expand our mission as we look to continue to do the collecting of historical significant three-dimensional items here at the Historical Society until and unless the city of Traverse City resumes the collection of historically significant items. Before I do the last step in our society meeting, which is to have our election for the board of directors, I should point out that we have a new candidate on the ballot. He is on the ballot, Jordan Owen. He is joined us, appointed at our last meeting, and he is going to be joining us as soon as members elect him more permanently for a 3-year term. Let's see. So I'm going to, before I hand out ballots, are there any questions from any of you? I think we have just members here now, but anyone have any questions about what the society is doing or what we may be doing in the future? Okay, then I'm going to hand out the ballots.
Need a pen, please, raise your hand. It's here. I know for me.
Well, I want to thank everyone for attending today. There is plenty more food in the back there, so if you want to enjoy some more, please. And thank you all very much for coming. Have a good rest of your weekend.